Hey everybody, Gone Gaming here, and I'm going to give y'all a little bit of information on Bandit Shrine Farming in Diablo 3's new update. Now, there is a new shrine that spawns a whole bunch of goblins. The Blood Shard goblins, the gelatinous spawns, which duplicate themselves. They chop into a couple little ones, and for every of the smallest ones you kill, I think it turns out to be 8 little ones, they each drop goblin loot. There's also the gem hoarders and the collectors, which will drop either gems or materials, the gold ones and everything there as well. So if you're in the new community Bandit It Forward, we are looking for other people to share the bandit spawns. So this is just a nice quick video on what the most efficient route in my opinion is, what I have found to work. Of course there could be other routes that are better than mine, but here's going to be a good one for you. So wherever I start, if I spawn in Act 4, I'll start Act 4. If I spawn in Act 2 or 1 or 3, we'll go ahead and do that as well. I don't actually bother with anything in Act 5 simply because the maps are too large or they take too long to run through. The spawns in Act 1 through 4, there are much smaller areas that take a lot less time to get through and find your shrines or know that you're not going to get one. So first place I always start is going to be Hell Rift. Now we can start in Hell Rift level 1 and you can get yourself down to level 2. So give me just a moment here. We're going to run on through. Anytime you see a health potion shrine thing, the health pools or an experience pool, those spawns also have a chance to be a shrine of any kind. And once you find a shrine, of course, that is where you find your bandit shrine. Cursed chest, not really beneficial. Scage. And we've got a rare pack. Always check the corners. You can find a... oh, look, there's a legendary. You can find one almost anywhere. Usually I go ahead and clear all of it out just to make sure that I'm picking up my Death's Breath and everything there for crafting materials. But for the sake of the video, we're going to skip it. After I do Hell Rift level 1, as long as I'm in map Act 4, I go ahead and go to Gardens of Hope. Now, there are 2 different things that could be spawning in Gardens of Hope. Number 1 is going to be a Cursed Shrine. And a Cursed Shrine will spawn right north of the well, nearby where you spawn, right up here. And I believe it only spawns when you actually get the event for it and have the bounty, but it spawns right here. And if you ever get that event, make sure to actually clear it and get your shrine. If you can get your shrine, that shrine also has a chance to become a bandit shrine. So, of course, anytime you find it, always clear it. We will go ahead and skip this guy. Here's one of our little bandits. This collector actually drops materials, including Death's Breath and everything else. So I highly recommend killing them anytime you find them. And here is our first shrine. This is where the shrine is going to spawn. If you find a chest or a health shrine, health pool nearby, then this shrine won't be here. There will either be a health pool, a shrine, or you'll only find one of them. You won't find all of them in the same place. Grab my materials. Now, you could do Silver Spire, but it's a very large area. What I normally do is I'll check Silver Spire. I only check the entrance area. There's a potential spawn right around the entrance here. Sometimes it will spawn right here in the middle. Other times it will spawn either in that northwest corner or the southeast corner right after the entrance. Anything other than that is going to be too far in the map for me, and I don't bother. So next I go into Act 3. We're going to go to the core of Arreat, which is the Azmo spawn. So from here, there are actually a number of different spawn points. Always check the south here. I've seen shrines spawn right around here, and then start heading north and through. Core is always an identical spawn, so you will never have a different shaped map. Now, see this healing well here? Often this will be a shrine. So make sure to check, make sure to look, because that's where you're going to find them. you will see a cursed chest up here if you're doing cursed chest runs or if you like them. Then right around here where I'm hanging out at is going to be a potential for a cursed shrine. I'm sorry, a cursed chest. There may also be a cursed chest right here. So you could just leave the first half and not bother with the second one, but this right here where all of these monsters spawn is the second spawn point for shrines in this area. And I have actually seen shrines spawn at both points, so never be too proud to check the back half. It only takes a couple of seconds. If you've got your homing pads, just drop on down to the back here, and you're not going to get hit by anything. So once you've done Core of Arreat, there's the Bridge of Corsic. This one is one of the fastest spots that you can check because your potential is very high for right nearby. This pool of reflection can be a chest. It could be a regular chest chilling over here. It could be this pool. It could be a healing pool, or it could be a shrine. And I have actually gotten a Bandit Shrine off of that shrine as well. Once you've done that, I don't bother with anything else at level 3 except for the Tower of the Cursed. Make sure you do Cursed, not the Damned, because the Cursed has this right here. This will be a shrine every once in a while. If you get the shrine right here, great. If you find the healing well, of course, you're not going to get a shrine. But it's always right here. So you can hop up the ledge, go around the corner, teleport yourself up. This spot right here is really, really good. So, Act 2, Road to Alcarnus. This is absolutely my favorite spot to check. There are potentially 3 different shrine spawns in this area. They can all spawn simultaneously. Always go up towards the gate and then circle back around south. As soon as you hit that wall, go straight south and round this rock. Right about here, there is a spot that will spawn a shrine. And I've only seen it spawn shrines. I've never seen that spot right there particularly spawn the healing wells or the experience wells, but that's one of them. This right over here, there's another shrine spawn right in this area here, and one more right over here, right where this guy's chilling. Another spawn right around here. So those are the first 3 on the first half of this, and I have seen up to 2 of these spawn at once, and once it was actually both bandits. This healing well actually shares a spawn in here with the other shrines. So you can have a healing well there, you can have a bandit shrine or a regular shrine here. Sometimes there will be a chest in this corner instead, and once you've checked that center area, swing on back around in behind here. This back spot right here, there's also a shrine spawn right here. So that's those. Now, there are some people that swear by Act 2. Personally, I absolutely can't stand Act 2 simply for the fact that the zones are so damn large. I do not like Act 2. I don't run Act 2 at all. Now, since of course I don't like Act 2, I go ahead and skip right on over to Act 1. Act 1, there are actually a couple of really good spots. The first one is going to be the Royal Crypts. You can often get a shrine right here at the entrance. If you get that shrine, don't go any farther in. There's only going to be one spawn in this zone. You're not going to get a second one, at least not as far as I have seen. Now, there's also potential for one to be in this corner, so always check this little spawn corner back in here. And then head back up and around. If you see a chest in this corner, that may be an indicator that there's not going to be a shrine. But again, I can't really guarantee. This is also a really good spot for goblins. So hop on across. You can sometimes find a shrine right around in here. Sometimes there will be a shrine back inside this little gated area. And I've seen one here before. And I believe you can also find, look, another goblin. You can find one back in this corner over here as well. This guy, the Malevolent Tormentor, all he does, I think he just drops gold, but he does teleport around, and he is super obnoxious. Put my real shoulders on here, because he's getting away. There we go. Nope, this isn't the one that only drops the gold. There's a different one. But he does teleport around. He is a bit obnoxious. So once you've cleared Royal Crypts, go all the way through. If you're doing bounty runs, of course, kill the Skeleton King there. Once you're done, you're going to go to Cemetary of the Forsaken. The Cemetary is another one of those very, very small zones that has the potential to spawn a shrine, and here we have it. Now, it could be right here. You could also find it spawned up here where this healing well is, which is another one of those just same spawn points that something can spawn. And there's another one right down here where this Gravedigger's Bones is, right in the middle. So any one of these spots could be that shrine. So if you find either a healing well in one area, this zone in particular, don't rule it out that there's not going to be a shrine. Continue to go ahead and look on through. Now, in the Festering Woods, which is where we're at now, I went on a little bit quick there, make sure to run the entire zone. You can actually find shrines in most of these different places. The right shoulder's back on again. I usually don't switch to homing pads simply for the fact that I'm clearing the entire area because I'm going for my farming materials, Death's Breath, things like that. But always check Warrior's Rest. If there is a chest here, you can skip the rest of the zone. There won't be anything for you. Almost guaranteed. Never going to promise it, but again, you're going to have shared spawn points for these items. For healing wells, for experience wells, or for shrines, it's all shared. You're not going to find all of them in the same place, and usually one of them will override the other. It's an if this or that. You're not going to get both. So here we have an empowered shrine. Unfortunately, not a bandit shrine again, but we should be on track. 1 second here. And there is a BK weapon. Excellent. Now, once you do that, always check Crypt of the Ancients as well. Hop on around. Now, you might find a chest up in this corner. You might find a health shrine up in that corner, a health well up there. That is an overriding factor. Again, we have another shrine right here. This is where I go and check those. If you find either a healing well or a shrine or a chest, again, in that little zone, it's going to override, so you're not going to find another one. I don't usually go any farther south than both of these two areas. I run around the corners. I'm not super particular about getting everything in this area. There's only a couple of spots that it usually does spawn for me. So if I don't find it in either the Warrior's Rest or the Ancients, then I just go ahead and hit back to the teleporter because it's going to be an instant trip wherever I want to go. Now, you could run Cath level 2, but that's a very large zone, so I don't usually bother. The other option here, Southern Highlands. Southern Highlands is one of the fastest spots you can find because all you do is you run straight down here and you go to this corner. If you don't find it in this corner, you can run all the way up towards the Warden and towards the barracks if you would like to. I'll go ahead and do that here, but you don't have to. It's not something that is going to be really required. Southern Highlands, not where I want to be. So after you do Southern Highlands, I often will do either Leoric's Manor and head straight out the back, or do the Northern Highlands. There are actually 2 spawns in the Northern Highlands for shrines, I do believe. And here's the chest, which is, of course, going to override one of those. And I head right on south here. Nothing here in this corner. Check the other corner, and if you don't find it in either of those corners, then go ahead and go straight up to Leoric's Manor. In Leoric's top zone here, you want to make sure to actually fully clear most of the zone. Once again, looking for those health shrines, healing wells, looking for the experience wells, because those are going to override each other. Here's the healing well. Healing well is going to override one spot, so there's not going to be a shrine in at least one of these spawn points. I believe that chests also override, but I'm not entirely sure. I could be mistaken. They might be random. Now, up here, there's often a shrine right here in the middle. If not, again, here's another well. We got the Pool of Reflection, the Experience well, which is going to override the potential for that spawn. If you are following my route and going north through the Highlands to Leorix, then you can go ahead and run that route. If you don't like Leorix because it's too large and you're going for a faster or potentially more efficient route, then go ahead and skip that zone as well. If you find the Khazra altar down there, like I just went to, then usually there might be a spawn there as well. Once again, there are multiple shrine spawns in the courtyard here. There's one up top there that I did find here. We have a chest here in the corner. That chest, I believe, will override to where there's not going to be a second shrine. But oftentimes you will find a second shrine. Instead, we have our healing well. Once again, a matter of this or that, usually not both. Now, that is all of the acts that I run personally. If you find a better way, please feel free to leave a comment. Have a great time. Thanks for all the fish.